a journey to discovering that happiness is not a destination. It's a choice you make every day. Picture this, it's 3 a.m. and you're staring at the ceiling again. Your mind is racing with all the things that went wrong today, all the opportunities you missed, all the dreams that feel impossibly far away. You check your phone, social media feeds filled with other people's highlight reels, their perfect moments, their success stories, and there you are, feeling like you're falling behind in a race you never signed up for. I know this feeling because I've been there. We've all been there. In those quiet, vulnerable moments when the world feels too heavy and happiness feels like something that happens to other people, never to us. But what if I told you that everything you've been taught about happiness is wrong? What if the very pursuit of happiness as some distant destination is exactly what's keeping you from experiencing it right now? In this moment, as you listen to these words, this isn't just another motivational talk. This is a conversation about the most fundamental truth of human existence, that happiness isn't something you arrive at after you've checked all the boxes, achieved all the goals, or fixed all your problems. Happiness is a choice you make every single day, in every single moment, regardless of your circumstances. Thomas Edison failed over 1,000 times before inventing the light bulb. When asked about his failures, he said something profound. I didn't fail 1,000 times. I found Ein's 0 ways that didn't work. This wasn't just clever wordplay. This was a man who understood that success and failure, joy and disappointment, hope and despair, they're all part of the same journey. They're all threads in the fabric of a meaningful life. But somewhere along the way, we started believing that we needed to eliminate the difficult parts to access the beautiful ones. We started thinking that happiness was the absence of struggle rather than the presence of meaning in the midst of struggle. Your mind is not your master. You are, right now, as you listen to this, your mind might be telling you all the reasons why this doesn't apply to you, all the reasons why your situation is different, why your problems are too big, why happiness is a luxury you can't afford. That voice in your head that whispers, this works for other people, but not for me. That voice is not your truth. That voice is your conditioning. Abraham Lincoln lost more elections than he won before becoming president. He suffered from what we now recognize as severe depression. He lost his first love, failed in business multiple times, and experienced defeats that would have crushed most people's spirits. Yet he's remembered not for his failures, but for his unwavering commitment to something greater than his circumstances. Lincoln understood something that we've forgotten in our instant gratification world, that the quality of our lives is determined not by what happens to us, but by what we choose to focus on, what we choose to believe, and how we choose to respond. Every morning, you wake up with a choice. Before you check your phone, before you think about your to-do list, before you worry about the day ahead, you have a choice. You can choose to see the day as an opportunity or as an obstacle. You can choose to focus on what's missing or on what's possible. You can choose to believe that good things are coming or that you're destined for disappointment. This choice isn't made once and forgotten. This choice is made moment by moment, breath by breath, decision by decision. Think about the last time you felt truly happy. Not the forced happiness of social media posts or the temporary high of achieving something, but that deep, quiet contentment that comes from being fully present in a moment. Maybe it was watching a sunrise, having a real conversation with someone you love, or simply feeling grateful for being alive. That happiness didn't come because all your problems were solved. It came because, for that moment, you stopped chasing it and started experiencing it. You stopped thinking about where you should be and started appreciating where you were. Walt Disney was fired from a newspaper for lacking imagination and having no good ideas. His first animation company went bankrupt. Mickey Mouse was rejected by over 300 companies who said the idea would never work because a cartoon mouse would frighten women. Disney could have let these setbacks define his reality. Instead, he let them refine his vision. Disney understood that vision isn't about seeing what is, it's about seeing what could be. It's about holding onto a picture of possibility, even when the present moment looks nothing like your dreams. But here's where most people get it wrong. They think vision is about the destination. They think if they can just visualize their perfect life clearly enough, work hard enough, and want it badly enough, they'll eventually arrive at happiness. This is the trap that keeps millions of people stuck in perpetual dissatisfaction. Real vision isn't about the destination. It's about who you become on the journey. It's about recognizing that every challenge, every setback, every moment of doubt is not an obstacle to your happiness, but an opportunity to choose it. Your life purpose isn't something you find, it's something you create. Right now, wherever you are, whatever you're facing, you have the power to infuse this moment with meaning. You have the power to choose love over fear, gratitude over resentment, hope over despair. This doesn't mean pretending that difficult things aren't difficult. This doesn't mean putting on a fake smile and pretending everything is perfect. This means acknowledging that happiness and sadness, joy and pain, success and failure, they can all coexist. They can all be part of a meaningful life. Henry Ford failed with his first 2 automobile companies before founding Ford Motor Company. He was 40 years old when he finally succeeded, an age when many people think it's too late to start over. Ford once said, "Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right." This isn't just positive thinking. This is understanding how your mind works. Your brain is constantly looking for evidence to support what you already believe. If you believe you're not good enough, your brain will find evidence to support that belief. If you believe that happiness is always just out of reach, your brain will find evidence to support that belief too. But what if you chose to believe something different? What if you chose to believe that you are exactly where you need to be right now? What if you chose to believe that every experience, the beautiful ones and the difficult ones, are all contributing to your growth, your wisdom, your capacity for compassion? This isn't about lying to yourself or pretending that challenges don't exist. This is about recognizing that you have more power over your experience than you've been led to believe. Right now, there are things in your life that you can't control. There are circumstances that feel overwhelming, relationships that are complicated, goals that seem impossible. You can't control these external factors, but you can control one thing: your relationship with them. Mahatma Gandhi spent years in prison, faced violence and hatred, and fought against seemingly impossible odds. When asked how he maintained his peace in the midst of such chaos, he said, "You must be the change you wish to see in the world." Gandhi understood that real power comes not from controlling what happens to you, but from controlling how you respond to what happens to you. He understood that inner peace isn't the absence of conflict, it's the presence of acceptance in the midst of conflict. Letting go doesn't mean giving up. Letting go means releasing your attachment to outcomes you can't control and focusing your energy on responses you can control. It means accepting that some things are not meant to be figured out, fixed, or forced into submission. There's a Japanese proverb that says, "The bamboo that bends is stronger than the oak that resists." This isn't about being weak or passive. This is about understanding that true strength comes from flexibility, adaptability, and the wisdom to know when to push forward and when to surrender. In this moment, what are you holding on to that's causing you pain? What expectations, what resentments, what fears are you carrying that are heavier than they need to be? What would happen if you chose to set them down, not because you're giving up, but because you're making space for something better? Every breath you take is a gift. Every heartbeat is a miracle. Every sunrise is a new beginning. These aren't just pretty words. These are profound truths that we've become numb to because they happen so consistently that we take them for granted. Right now, as you listen to these words, your heart is beating without you having to think about it. Your lungs are breathing without you having to remember. Your body is performing millions of functions perfectly, keeping you alive and conscious and present in this moment. This is not ordinary. This is extraordinary. But we've been conditioned to focus on what's missing rather than what's present. We've been taught to notice what's broken rather than what's working. We've been trained to see problems rather than possibilities. Gratitude isn't about pretending that everything is perfect. Gratitude is about recognizing that even in imperfection, there is beauty. Even in struggle, there is growth. Even in darkness, there is the promise of light. Oprah Winfrey was born into poverty, faced abuse, and encountered rejection after rejection in her early career. She was told she was too emotional for television news. Instead of seeing this as a limitation, she recognized it as her superpower. Her emotional authenticity became the foundation of her success. Winfrey didn't wait until her life was perfect to start practicing gratitude. She started practicing gratitude, and her life began to reflect that inner shift. She understood that gratitude isn't a response to good circumstances. Gratitude is what creates good circumstances. What if, instead of waiting for something to be grateful for, you started looking for things to be grateful for right now? What if you started each day by acknowledging 3 things that are working in your life instead of focusing on the 10 things that aren't? This isn't about toxic positivity or pretending that real problems don't exist. This is about balance. This is about training your mind to see the full picture instead of just the parts that confirm your fears. Small changes create big transformations. The most successful people in the world didn't get there through massive, dramatic gestures. They got there through consistent, small actions that compounded over time. James Clear, in his research on habits, discovered that improving by just 1% every day leads to being 37 times better over the course of a year. But here's what's even more powerful. Declining by 1% every day leads to being nearly 0 after a year. This means that every small choice matters. Every moment of choosing kindness over judgment, gratitude over complaint, hope over fear. These small choices are literally reshaping your brain, your relationships, and your reality. You don't need to overhaul your entire life tomorrow. You just need to make one small, positive choice today. Then another one tomorrow. Then another one the day after that. Maybe it's choosing to take 5 deep breaths when you feel overwhelmed instead of immediately reaching for your phone. Maybe it's choosing to say thank you instead of sorry when someone compliments you. Maybe it's choosing to ask, what can I learn from this? Instead of, why is this happening to me? When you face a challenge, Stephen King's first novel, Carrie, was rejected 30 times. He threw it in the trash, ready to give up on his dream of being a writer. His wife found it, encouraged him to try one more time. And that novel launched one of the most successful writing careers in history. King didn't succeed because he was the most talented writer in the world. He succeeded because he developed the habit of writing every single day, regardless of how he felt, regardless of whether inspiration struck, regardless of whether he believed in himself that particular day. Success isn't about motivation. Motivation comes and goes. Success is about discipline. It's about showing up for yourself even when you don't feel like it, especially when you don't feel like it. The relationship you have with yourself sets the tone for every other relationship in your life. If you're constantly criticizing yourself, judging yourself, and expecting perfection from yourself, you'll do the same to others. If you're constantly waiting for yourself to be better before you allow yourself to be happy, you'll spend your entire life waiting. Self-love isn't selfish, it's necessary. You can't give what you don't have. You can't love others authentically if you're constantly at war with yourself. You can't create positive change in the world if you're drowning in self-doubt and self-criticism. Maya Angelou faced incredible hardships, racism, abuse, poverty, and trauma that would have broken many people, yet she became one of the most influential voices of our time. When asked about her resilience, she said, "There is no greater agony than bearing an untold story inside you." Angelou understood that healing begins with accepting your story, all of it. The beautiful parts and the painful parts, the victories and the defeats, the moments you're proud of and the moments you wish you could forget. Your story is not a liability, it's your greatest asset. Every challenge you faced has given you wisdom. Every mistake you've made has given you compassion. Every time you've fallen and gotten back up, you've proven to yourself that you're stronger than you knew. But you have to choose to see it this way. You have to choose to view your experiences as teachers rather than punishments. You have to choose to see your scars as evidence of your strength rather than proof of your brokenness. Right now, in this moment, you are enough. Not because you've achieved everything you want to achieve. Not because you figured everything out. Not because you're perfect, but because you're here. Because you're trying. Because you're willing to consider the possibility that things can be different. The person you are right now has survived 100% of your worst days. The person you are right now has the strength, wisdom, and resilience to handle whatever comes next. The person you are right now deserves love, respect, and kindness, especially from you. This doesn't mean you stop growing, learning, or striving for better. This means you stop making your worth conditional on your achievements. This means you stop postponing self-acceptance until you reach some arbitrary standard of perfection. Muhammad Ali didn't just win fights in the boxing ring. He won fights against discrimination, injustice, and the limitations that others tried to place on him. He said, "I am the greatest," not because he was arrogant, but because he understood that believing in yourself isn't vanity, it's necessity. You have to believe in yourself before anyone else will. You have to see your worth before others will recognize it. You have to treat yourself with respect before you can expect it from others. This belief doesn't come from having all the answers or being perfect. This belief comes from recognizing that you are a unique expression of life with gifts and perspectives that no one else has. This belief comes from understanding that your presence in this world matters. Regardless of what you've accomplished or failed to accomplish, every moment is a new beginning. Every breath is a fresh start. Every heartbeat is another chance to choose love over fear, hope over despair, growth over stagnation. You don't have to wait until Monday to start over. You don't have to wait until next month, next year, or until your circumstances change. You can start right now, in this moment, with the next choice you make. The path forward isn't about having a perfect plan or knowing exactly how everything will work out. The path forward is about taking the next right step, then the next one, then the next one. It's about trusting that each step will reveal the next step. Colonel Sanders was 62 years old when he started KFC. He was rejected 109 times before finding a restaurant willing to use his chicken recipe. He could have believed that it was too late, that he was too old, that he had faced too many rejections. Instead, he believed that his story was just beginning. Your age doesn't disqualify you. Your past doesn't disqualify you. Your current circumstance don't disqualify you. The only thing that can disqualify you is giving up on yourself. But you're here listening to this, which means you haven't given up, which means there's still hope burning inside you, which means you still believe, even if it's just a tiny spark, that things can be different. That spark is enough. That spark is everything. That spark is what will light the way forward. As we near the end of our time together, I want you to understand something profound. This conversation isn't ending, it's beginning. The real work doesn't happen when you're inspired by someone else's words. The real work happens in the quiet moments when no one is watching. When the motivation fades, when you have to choose between the easy path and the right path, the real work happens when you wake up tomorrow morning and remember that happiness is not something you chase, it's something you choose. It happens when you catch yourself focusing on what's wrong and consciously shift your attention to what's possible. It happens when you treat yourself with the same kindness you'd show a good friend. The real work happens when you realize that you don't need to be perfect to start. You just need to start to improve. It happens when you understand that failure isn't the opposite of success. It's a stepping stone to success. Every single person who has ever achieved anything meaningful has faced moments of doubt, moments of fear, moments when giving up seemed like the easier option. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't isn't talent, luck, or circumstances. It's the willingness to keep going when going gets difficult. You have that willingness inside you. I know you do. Because you've made it this far, because you've survived every challenge life has thrown at you, because you're still here, still hoping, still willing to believe that your story can have a different ending. But here's the truth. Your story doesn't need a different ending. It needs you to realize that every day is a new chapter. Every morning is a new page. Every moment is a new sentence that you get to write. You are the author of your experience. You are the director of your inner dialogue. You are the architect of your daily choices. This isn't just motivation. This is fact. This is your power. This is your responsibility. This is your opportunity right now. As these words reach your ears, you have the power to decide that this is the moment everything changes. Not because your circumstances will magically transform, but because your relationship with your circumstances will transform. You have the power to decide that you will no longer wait for permission to be happy. You will no longer postpone your peace until everything is perfect. You will no longer treat your dreams as luxuries you can't afford. Your dreams are not luxuries. They are necessities. They are your soul's way of showing you what's possible. They are your inner wisdom guiding you toward your highest potential. But dreams without action remain wishes. Vision without work remains fantasy. Hope without effort remains disappointment. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to take one small action today. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when you feel ready. Today, choose one small thing that moves you in the direction of who you want to become. And do it. Maybe it's writing one paragraph of that book you've been thinking about. Maybe it's making that phone call you've been avoiding. Maybe it's going for a walk instead of scrolling through social media. Maybe it's simply looking in the mirror and saying, I believe in you, to yourself. Whatever it is, do it not because you feel like it, but because you've decided that you're worth the effort. Do it because you understand that small actions create big changes. Do it because you're ready to prove to yourself that you are more powerful than your circumstances. If this message has touched your heart, if these words have sparked something inside you, then share this with someone who needs to hear it. Share it with someone who's struggling, someone who's forgotten their worth, someone who's given up on their dreams. But don't just share it, live it. Don't just be inspired, be active. Don't just feel good, do good. Subscribe to this channel, not just to hear more words, but to be part of a community of people who believe that we can all rise together. Hit that notification bell so you're reminded daily that you have the power to choose happiness, hope, and growth. But most importantly, remember this: you don't need to wait for the next video, the next book, or the next motivational message to start living the life you want. You have everything you need right now. You are everything you need right now. Your journey from where you are to where you want to be starts with accepting where you are and believing in where you're going. It starts with understanding that happiness is not a destination you arrive at after solving all your problems. It's a choice you make in spite of your problems. It starts with recognizing that you are not broken and in need of fixing. You are whole and capable of growing. You are not behind in life. You are exactly where you need to be to learn what you need to learn. It starts with the radical act of treating yourself with love, speaking to yourself with kindness, and believing in yourself with the same intensity that you've doubted yourself. Your transformation begins now. Your new story starts today. Your best life is not behind you. It's being created by you. Choice by choice, moment by moment, breath by breath. The world needs what you have to offer. The world needs your unique gifts, your perspective, your story, your love. But first, you need to believe that, you need to see that, you need to choose that. So choose happiness, not as a destination, but as a journey. Choose growth, not as a requirement, but as an adventure. Choose love, not as a feeling, but as an action. Choose yourself. Choose hope. Choose to begin again, because you are worthy of every good thing you dream of. You are capable of every goal you set. You are deserving of every bit of love, success, and happiness you desire. Your story is not over. It's just beginning, and I can't wait to see what you create. Remember, happiness is not a destination. It's a choice you make every single day. And today, right now, in this moment, you have the power to choose it. Choose it. You deserve it. You're worth it, and you're capable of it. The journey begins now.